if there was something that arose that actually slowed you down on your timeline, you want to speak to that and you want to talk a little bit about how you're going to accelerate in the back half of the year.
Believe you were born to win. It's your right to win. Claim it, frame it, 'cause you were.
Your mid-year review is an opportunity to make sure that your career goals are on track. The mid-year, which generally happens somewhere around June and July, and for a lot of people it's July, there are two perspectives that I want you to have. Number one, how have you performed relative to the conversation that you had at the beginning of the year about what 2025 was going to look like ultimately? And number two, to make sure that if you have expectations around promotion or around increased compensation or a new assignment, that you recalibrate your expectations subject to the conversation that you're going to have at the mid-year. Now, I'm going to speak in this video to people who have full-time opportunities and to people who are on summer internships. Let me start with the summer internship. You generally have 10 weeks for your summer internship. Those first 4 or 5 weeks are critical. Number one, in finding out what the assignment is. Number two, figuring out who your stakeholders are. Number three, putting some early points on the board that point to the fact that you are well on your way to completing your summer assignment. So when you get to the summer internship conversation at the mid-year, of course, your employers are going to want to know, how did you like it so far? What have you learned so far? How do you feel about this as a potential career opportunity, especially if you are a rising senior and they're thinking about whether or not they may want to hire you for a full-time position. Or even if you are a rising sophomore or rising junior, they're also thinking with an eye towards whether or not they will invite you to come back next summer. So you should walk into that conversation ready with the answers to those three questions. When I started, I didn't know anything about finance or I didn't know anything about marketing. In these 4 weeks, I've learned A, B, and C. Here are the two projects that I've worked on so far, or here was the project that I was assigned, and here is where I am on the timeline. Pretty confident that I'll be able to finish it by week 8 or 9, and I'm hoping that I will have an opportunity to get a new assignment. Those are the kinds of things that you want to talk about. Now, be careful because even if it hasn't lit your fire, if you will, and you're really questioning whether or not you want to do this next summer or whether or not you want to do this on a full-time basis, you still want to have a very upbeat attitude. Nobody wants to seriously consider a candidate for a full-time job or a next summer opportunity if they believe that the candidate does not like the people, they don't like the opportunity, they don't like the company, they're not going to be as constructive with you as you might like for the remaining part of the summer. So make sure that you have an upbeat attitude, even if it's been a difficult challenge so far. And if it has been a difficult challenge, you want to say it's been a little challenging because I hadn't seen these kinds of things before. But let me tell you what I've learned, and I'm ready to accelerate in the back half of my summer. Second, you want to talk about the things that might have arisen that you did not anticipate. Maybe you were shorter on resources than you all originally thought. Maybe somebody left your team. Maybe you onboarded a new hire. Those were things that you did not anticipate during your conversation at the beginning of the year. You want to bring those things up because if you have already met your goals for the mid-year and you had to entertain these things that you did not anticipate, that's even better. Or if there was something that arose that actually slowed you down on your timeline, you want to speak to that and you want to talk a little bit about how you're going to accelerate in the back half of the year. But more importantly, walk into that mid-year conversation with confidence, an upbeat attitude, and why you feel great about the first 2 quarters of the year and what you're looking forward to in the third and fourth quarter of this year. Now, if there's a promotion on the table, or there is an opportunity to increase your compensation, you want to make sure you speak to that. And the conversation goes like this. At the beginning of the year, I told you my primary goal was to make sure that I was promoted this year. I believe that I've done A, B, and C. That should put me on track for that. But if I'm wrong about that, I'd love to talk about that with you right now and figure out whether or not there's something that I can do to accelerate that or make it an easy conversation for you to support me at the end of the year. But do not leave that conversation without having the conversation about the promotion that you are expecting or about the increase in your compensation. Those kinds of things are too important for you to leave unsaid. Do not let fear overtake your voice. Remember, your voice is at the heart of your power. Go get them.